did.
Oh, I did.
That's the one that you missed out of that group, yeah.
All right, we're lying. Hold on 1 second. I've got to, don't worry about it. I've got to do this first. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to another Monday Night Hangs with the Cthulhu Invades Oz people. We've already got people liked and shared. Mike, you are fantastic. Mike, hello, everyone. James says, yo. James, you're more than welcome. I know you're driving. Danny, don't show up and then go to countdown. I thought that was work. Yeah, I know. But we do how we want. Before you were here, here's the way it looks. Oh, wait, that's not how it looks.
I don't like it all on me because I'm not that interesting. Okay? I'm like 3.
And then I would come in like this. Oh, all right. Like the Michael Jackson meme. We got Hey There by Daniel. Hi by Chris.
Keep holding up the wrong hand.
Hey by Emily. I dropped a piece of popcorn. People have got the links. We've got more of our crew coming up as we speak. We have been having a good time tonight. We busted our butt. We got I don't know, what was it? 5 new backers, 4 new backers?
We're up to 553 last I looked, yeah.
Ooh.
So that was 6 backers during the last program. We want to try to get some more during this.
Yes.
Legend says, "What's up, Travis and Emily?"
Not much.
And let me guys show you what we were working on before we got here. It's pretty cool. I'll get you that link in just a second, James. Untitled artwork, probably. Look at that.
Ooh.
I'll make that full screen. That is pretty dope.
Yeah. Ooh.
So I like that a lot. Really, really cool. So we're going to save that on the back end for Stoney. We're going to share that with him in just a little bit. I think you're amazing. Oh, hold on. Trish says, I think you're amazing. Lady, don't think less of yourself. That's right. Run the show. Oh, damn it. Every time it's on me. James and Dawn and Brian. So James, Dawn, and Brian, you are all welcome on here. You did Cthulhu Invades Oz. If you guys would like the link, just private message me.
Literally hunched.
You guys couldn't hear any of what I just said, could you? Because I was off the screen. And that's the way that works.
We could hear you.
We can hear you. I don't know about them.
Oh, all right. Let me make sure they can hear me. So Dawn, Brian, James, you guys are more welcome on. I will give you guys the link. Just message me privately on Facebook. I will get you guys the link. No problem there. Someone says they want money from me. Saying
it's the other way around. They're supposed to give you money for Cthulhu Invades Oz.
Right. What is going on here? James wants the link. Oh, hold on. We have a new challenger, as they would say on the last chat. What?
Hi.
Hey,
And
how's everybody?
to keep it going.
I heard we needed more beard.
Woo!
Yeah, you take my place.
I have to be you, though. I've got
Yeah.
This is the night before. We are at how many hours? 26 hours, probably. Got 26 hours to go. Almost at the 24 mark. Living our best life, right?
Absolutely. You know, I have a question for
Lord, no.
Probably Chuck or anybody else who might have worked on other projects with you before. Like, what do you do when this is over and the separation anxiety sits in and you haven't talked to Travis every day? Like, I'm gonna have to have him call me and tell me good night at night because the separation anxiety is gonna be just awful.
So what I did was I had him, in Messenger, you can send each other little voice clips.
All right.
So I had him. He sent me a little voice clip that says "I love you," and so every night I go to sleep to "I love you," and I cry and crash, and it feels good.
Okay.
I was gonna say, hold up, Stony. He's not responding to the pictures you're sending him.
Not like he did at first. I mean, I got lots of responses at first, and
Well, they're gone now. We're funded. Like
But now, Stony, if you do it the right way, he'll respond every time. Because I'll be like, "Hey, Travis, what do you think of this?" And then he'll be like, "I love you," and I'm like, "Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do." So it always ends well for me now.
All right, very cool.
Kasuni, you can up your pledge. No one here is going to have any problem with you upping your pledge.
I'm against it.
We don't pay attention to him though. It's okay.
You're right. Hold on, Kasuni, have you backed Essence House? Because if you haven't, take that up pledge, even if it's $1, and go ahead and back Essence House. Give them a little bit of money.
I'm not against that either.
But you were against giving me money.
Well, you got 20 grand. Come on, man. That's a house payment.
He's back and he's still driving. Guys, has he still been driving this whole time?
This whole time. He has not stopped driving. James is still driving to the same destination.
He's in a different continent.
This Taco Bell is so far away.
Alan Ellsworth is here. Alan, you're more than welcome to join again.
Alan.
Send me a message if you want an invite.
I will drive for 4 days to get tacos, just to be perfectly clear.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
Good tacos are hard to find.
This is what I'm saying.
So, welcome to Cthulhu Invades Oz, the final Monday night hang. Cthulhu's got both. So then upping your pledge on mine is on Cthulhu Invades Oz is fine because that helps both of us, not just Chuck. Chuck's like, you don't know how much I've spent on this so far. Do you know how much recording costs? can't work it. Alan.
You do what you gotta do for the god Cthulhu.
Alan, you have a bathroom you can go to for a little bit. Just talk to us in the shitter. Like, it's fine. Just hide. So, Michael Watson, you just drew for me for the last hour, and you're like, you know what? I'm not done hanging out with that motherfucker.
I want to pop in for a minute. I saw you guys looking all happy. I was like, let me crash here for a couple minutes.
Well, this is the first time together we can talk about being funded. What's up? How do you feel about that?
I bought non-alcoholic rosé for this.
Oh,
Wow. Well, good for you. All right.
I'm excited.
I have a Dr. Pepper.
I have a Dr. Pepper Gold. Is that like white grape juice?
Yeah, but it's carbonated.
Chris is like, what are we doing next Monday then?
Well, if it's a rosé, wouldn't it have to be white and red grape juice?
Yeah, it's like a really, really light pink.
Yeah.
Nice. Type color, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna pop it tomorrow on the celebratory stream.
Nice, yeah.
Oh, that's
tomorrow
pretty
night. So tomorrow night, Trish, we are doing another stream from 10 to 11:30 to rock out this campaign. But next Monday, I'm sure you can hang out with Chuck at Essence House. I'm sure Essence House will put together something to entertain you on Monday night.
We've got a big thing on Wednesday, actually. It's going to be we're going to do a Thanksgiving bash. We're going to show off episode 18. And, yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. Actually, we're going to be, we've already talked about it. I don't think Katrina drinks, but Eric and I drink heavily, so we will be drinking tomorrow night.
I didn't
Oh,
want
and we have a new arrival. We have Danny.
Mr. Morales.
hey!
So I was at Taco Bell. I already made it. I made it back. I considered pulling a Gibber and just going live from the drive-thru of Taco Bell.
He must have used the highways instead.
Be like, I got my drink. Every morning I see Travis live on my Facebook. So I got my coffee and he's just in his car, like.
My favorite part of talking with Travis is this. So, anyways, I'm thinking that what we need to do is we need to raise. Just a second. Okay, yeah, I want 2 of the beef and bean burritos, but can I have? And then when? Okay, but when I get the coffee, it needs to have 17 sugars, but only 2 creams, because that's a lot of fat. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Like, holy shit, they have a lot of sugar in their coffee, and it's like Taco Bell all the friggin' time.
If it's morning, he's at Dunkin', and if it's night, he's at Taco Bell.
That's it.
There is no in between. There is
There
no
you
in
go.
between.
That's my family's dietary restrictions. You got it right there.
I feel like if they were smarter, they would just deliver. They're like, we deliver to that guy. Like, they gotta know we know our audience. You know what I mean? Like, I know which cons to go to because those are the people who are gonna buy my books. They should be like, we're making a new Dunkin' Donuts beside that fat ass's house. Like,
Like if Orange Cone ever got like a campus, Orange Cone office building, there would be a Dunkin' Donuts in the like lobby. There would
and
be.
Taco Bell.
It would be the first in the world Dunkin' Donuts Taco Bell hybrid.
So, I don't know if this is such a thing down here, but when I was in Canada, Dunkin' Donuts, the few that we actually had, they were owned by both Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin Robbins, and they would be together.
Right, yeah.
there's a few.
You do have that as a normal thing?
Yeah.
We used to have one actually in the town that Travis lives in, but I think one side closed.
Yeah. The Rob's is closed now. but-
Baskin Robbins isn't doing so hot.
In Maryland, they had Taco Bells and KFCs that were nice.
Yep.
I hated working there because I had to wear the pink shirt,
Yeah.
and it just did not look good on me.
You guys remember Carvel? Oh my God! So actually, Alan just made a comment about Villainous. I want to personally, on the interweb where everybody can see, apologize to Mr. Stoney Williams, because Villainous #1 sold amazingly in our store, and somehow I goofed, and I didn't have issue 2 on the shelf for its release date because I order from Mad Cave directly, so I can goof sometimes. So they came in this week, and we're already almost sold out, so I have to order
Oh,
more.
okay. Well, I forgive you then. You're forgiven.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but yeah.
I love that you
terrible.
forgave him for something he can't.
Tony's hyping it up. He's like, "Oh, Villainous #2 on the shelf," and I'm like, "Nah, I ain't got that."
Stoney was like, so you were gonna bash. You said you thought 1 wasn't good, and now you saw my great genius of writing in 2 is what he was waiting for. He's like, no, we never got to.
No.
What's really hilarious, and like, I'm not gonna. This isn't the Stoney Williams show, I know, even though we can make it. So, but what's funny is I got triple shipped Villainous because I ordered it from Mad Cave. I didn't realize I ordered it from Diamond as well, and then Mad Cave shipped me again a double shipment. So our plan was, to be honest, good business people, and ship back the double shipment from Mad Cave. But we got sidetracked, and it never got shipped. So I reached out to Mad Cave. I'm like, hey, I need that address. I'm going to ship it out to you. And then I realized we were sold out of Villainous #1s, and it was sold out through Diamond, and it was sold out through Mad Cave. So I went back, and I'm like, hey, guys, sorry, not sending those back to you. Just invoice me. Thank you very much. And those are now on the way to Mr. Stoney Williams to be signed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
Kyle says, what's up? Kyle, you're more welcome on the chat. Again, just private message me, and you can get in on this. Greg Alisi says he may pop by, which I'm hoping. I think that's why Michael Watson's here, because he wants to see whether or not it's shirts on or shirts off. Basically, when you invite Greg to something, it's shirts or skins. It's like his Facebook feed.
Yo,
Tell me I'm wrong, Chuck.
I'm happy that Mike's on because Mike has the best background of anybody that comes on the show. Like he's got the Nerf guns, he's got
Dragon? See, Greg Anderson Alisi is so funny.
Wow.
On Facebook, we don't know each other that well, you know what I mean? Like, you think you know people, so you think that they get your voice and that they get your humor and stuff. And so, Greg, not to out him, but Greg is bi, and there's no issue with that. But it was funny because he was showing off, he said that he had done this, he's also a model, and he had done this really sexy picture of himself. And he was supposedly nearly nude in the picture. And he's like, and somebody was talking shit about him doing this near nude. And I, as a joke, was like, near nude, eh? I've got a buddy that might want to check that out. Totally kidding. Just like, ha ha ha, I have a friend. I no shit 2 hours later get a message from him that just says for your friend, and then it's the near nude picture, and I'm like, good for you, dude. You're a handsome bastard. Like, I can't say nothing. Good for you. Not what I was going for, but looking good, buddy. Looking good.
I mean, he's got those chiseled nipples that could like break glass.
Part of me wonders how many people do stuff like that on a whole other douchebaggy level. Like, there's a
Right?
fine line. There's a fine line between awesome and what the fuck were you thinking right there.
Well, and at that point, I thought, oh, I guess he thinks I'm down with the dudes too, which I didn't have any issue with at all. But I was like, oh, all right, well, he's still a good-looking guy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's a good-looking dude.
The
So
important question is did you get a print and did you get it signed?
I didn't do either, but I didn't delete the picture. So there's options. I can still have the options.
So then my question to Travis is, at what point do we do a Cthulhu Invades Oz calendar?
We'll have to wait. The stretch goal for 30,000. There you go. Announced.
Yeah.
I will do a sexy chicken pinup for that calendar.
All right, let's get some comments and then talk about why we're here. Show off Michael Watson's picture. All right, Daniel says, I need to read Villainous 1 and 2 still. They're in my various pull lists that I'm getting through.
You'll like it.
Legend says, can we avoid the fictional realm of Canadas? Only if it's the Canada that's in the Clerks cartoon that only had 6 episodes. That's my favorite fictional Canada.
I don't know. The South Park Canada is pretty great.
Oh, that's true.
I don't think Canada's real.
You don't think Canada's real?
Never been there. Not real.
So there's more hot stuff starting tonight. I need to get more people here if you're hurting yourself. Tell you what. Let's see. I've got some hot sauce.
I got some Maybelline over there.
If we can get to, let's say $1,000 pledged before I get off, sure. I'll start some hot sauce.
Oh, yo.
Dude, it hurts.
I was at work all day, so I didn't get a chance to see like all the hard work that Travis does like after the coffee in the morning. I just see that video and then I like assume he hibernates. But I saw what the stretch goal was for 25,000, and I'm like, yo, not only do I think it's amazing, but I got myself a hardcover, so it's like I want that book plate. So we got to get. I'm over here like I got 24 hours to get like $3,000 extra in there. Plus glow in the dark cover.
The glow in the dark cover is a game changer.
Right?
That's nice. That's like
I don't think anybody was considering that until the moment Travis considered it.
right. That's that guy throwing the salt on the meat. Right there. That's what Travis did.
So, yeah, let me tell you what it's like.
Being rather amazing.
Jerome is the only person who's ever worked with me before where he sits around. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Shenanigans. If we can get to 25,000, that's what we're going to get. So it is beautiful. Beautiful.
Look at that. I mean, like, I'm a nerd. So one thing about me is that I love gimmicks. Like, I guess, or people call them gimmicks on covers. You give me a die cut cover, I'm in. You give me glow in the dark, I'm in. You give me embossed cover, I'm in. Foil, I'm in. So, like, Travis just is giving the people what they want. He's a man of the people.
That's right.
I love Jerome. He doesn't have to come in. He can if he wants, but I'd love him to comment. I do this to him during our normal campaigns. Like, he's like, why are we giving away this random thing at the next stretch goal? What is that a thing? Why are you doing that? Or when I randomly launch a Kickstarter, like my Parallels, Chuck was like, oh, Travis launched a Kickstarter. Let's check. Because I do that sometimes. I do random things. And I don't recommend them for anybody who doesn't have a marketing degree. Like, please, I have a marketing degree, so I know what I'm doing when I do those things.
Travis has
people try them and they fail. Like, be strategic.
I just thought Travis was winging this, and we were all on board. We're like,
I just thought it was natural genius.
All right.
So,
oh no.
We're all supposed to sit back and be like, wow. That's
Yeah, Chuck and Jerome are probably the only people who confirm that I do not wing it. I actually have plans.
Wait, we're not winging this? Because I completely plagiarized my story. I thought this was a joke.
Actually, you know what? All right, so let's go over the Cthulhu stuff, and then Watson, I know you got to go soon, but you want to hear my greatest, newest idea that we talked about, Chuck. I'm going to bring up my idea that I talked about today.
All right.
So Cthulhu Invades Oz. That's why we're here, guys. Cthulhu Invades Oz is amazing. We're super excited about it. Every person here has worked on it. We're going to go around the room. If everyone say what they've done in the book. Even Danny has something. Danny has something.
It's official. It's real.
Danny has.
Is this your first comic book? Your first credit?
This is my first credit in anything comic related, yeah. Well, except for my head being on the cover, but that was just me sending a picture to Travis. Two. One was not.
That's how most people get head for covers.
Yeah.
Oh!
My dog.
Whoa!
Oh, look at that handsome bastard. What handsome bastard.
Like,
Greg is in the house. How are you, Greg?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Good. Good. Oh, look at him. He's bringing his sexy voice, too. I've heard both. Look at that, the whole thing.
Sexy voice and tank top. I am done. I am stopping.
Shout out to me. What does that mean? Shout out to me. Cam Cats? Shout out to Cam Cats. Yay.
Shout out.
Yay, cans.
So did we lose somebody? Watson. Wait, you lost Greg. Where's Greg?
I'm right here.
Greg's at the top. What do you mean?
Greg, all right, we're
I'm
missing
the center
somebody,
square.
though.
I'm the center square.
No! It's time to sacrifice Danny, guys.
All right.
No, we're good.
Anyways.
I spent my whole life trying to get here.
All right, so we're going to go around the room, talk about what you did in the comic. Again, we're funded. We're trying to get to 25,000. Did you see the announcement today, Greg? What we're giving away at 25,000?
No, I don't think I saw.
We are going to make that beautiful cover. Here, I'll show it for you. This beautiful cover right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Look at what happens. See that? See that little glow that happens periodically?
Oh, wow.
How would you like that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get to. 25,000. We're going to get that. See, I knew that there was a. Oh, maybe I just hit a different button. Oh, that was me. My bad. So we're going to get that, but I want to go around the room, say what you did in the book, talk about your story a little bit. We'll go. Let's start with Greg. We'll go around the room. Go ahead, Greg.
I was going to say, guys, I think we actually sacrificed Danny.
Who's Danny?
I'm back. I'm here. I'm
Danny's there.
I'm a real boy.
I picked Danny for the block. All right, Greg, tell us what you did, why yours is maybe one of my higher regarded stories. I won't say anything beyond that, though you do have a screenshot, what I hear.
I wrote the chapter for the wizard, so I get to do my own interpretation of the wizard, and I decided to go with the version where he actually has magic abilities, which is something that happens, I believe, later on in the franchise of Wizard of Oz, because he gets trained by Glinda the Witch to wield actual magic. So I decided to go with that interpretation, and in it, it's sort of like a chess match between him and Cthulhu, where they're sort of like moving, I guess, individual players that's part of their army, and they sort of come to a point where I guess the wizard starts being seen as an equal, so they try to pull him into their army in some sense. So then it becomes a dilemma of which side does he choose.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's next? Emily, be you. How do I get Emily?
That's definitely not Emily.
Emily.
Hold on, I'm trying to pull her over. There we go.
Okay, so I did the first comic in the novel called The Sellout, and it's about Dorothy and how she goes about her daily routines, doing what Dorothy does, and she comes across more and more Lovecraftian creatures. And she treats these creatures like they're, the creatures from Oz, which are like friendly and goofy and stuff. and she slowly starts to realize that they're not friendly and they're not goofy until she meets the worst of them all and has to sell out Oz in order to save Earth and her family. So she gives him the shoes.
Yeah. All right, Stony.
Yeah, I colored a story called The Watch, written by David Galliano and drawn by Craig Florence. Stars TikTok, the Mechanical Man, as he puts together this team to fight some of the deep ones.
All right. Oh, well, speak out. Sorry, I keep clicking off because people keep messaging me to get in, which is great. Danny.
So, my story is a one-pager with art by Brian Silverbacks, and it's about Foolish Owl. I was like one of the last people added because Travis loves me, but also feels bad for me. So, there was very little characters that hadn't been used yet, so I had to go out there. But I did some research, and I got a cool story about Foolish Owl trying to warn Munchkin County about the Cthulhu cultists coming in, and it's my first try at this, so hopefully it's not too terrible. I am definitely the least talented person on the group.
I don't know. Travis is in this. Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, wow, that was perfect timing switching to me.
That was good. That was good.
Hey, guys, what's going on? Chuck Pino. I was lucky enough to do the Scarecrow. And after I was done doing the Scarecrow, I created a story about the Scarecrow with Kyron Silva and Alan Ellsworth. And I'm really happy. I'm really happy with that story. And we went very, very dark, very much into the logical mindset that would be the Scarecrow. And yeah, man, if you like dark, I think this might be the story for you. Thank you.
What's up? I'm Mike, and I'm chilling.
All right, my turn. My turn. There you go. There.
I worked on the worker bees story, and it's pretty fun and cool. These bees actually work within Oz to repair the great city whenever there's damage or natural disasters and things like that. And at the end of the story, has a really cool gag that hopefully you will catch because it's in there a few times.
And then last but not least, me. Emily told my story. She already told what it's all about. We did the Dorothy together, which is really cool. I also came up with the main concept of Cthulhu Invades Oz that everyone kind of worked on. And it has been a great success, you know. It's a big deal raising $20,000. It's a lot of hard work. But we've had a lot of guys working their ass off to get there, and it's been really, really cool. So yeah, that's it. Let me get the crew back together. So yeah, what's it like to finally know that we're funded? Because it was scary for a bit, right?
Never.
I was
Oh, James, we didn't do James. Hold on.
Why did you come back?
Hold on.
Well,
James is at Taco Bell.
Easily forgotten at 80 miles an hour.
James, go ahead.
Okay, I got lucky enough to get included in the last phase of the project, and I rocked a killer black and white action story where Belinda the Chicken gets some very dark and deserved revenge on the Wheelers.
Nice.
I found out that I really enjoy drawing scary-looking chickens, and that I know enough about light and dark to make really creepy-looking tentacles.
I assumed James' story was going to be about somebody in Cthulhu or somebody in Oz just driving the whole time. Driving.
Well,
Dude,
first thing I said to James.
I actually thought about having Belinda and the Wheelers like racing, but eventually it just turned into a story of like, I don't know, I just had this idea where I wanted to flip the story where the bad guy becomes the victim and the good guy becomes a thing unleashing Cthulhu-esque vengeance upon the world of Oz, and I just enjoyed the hell out of it.
Well, we have a lot of people on here watching. We have 24 guys on my end, so 24 people from all the things, which is big for me. We normally are like 16, so it's a big night. So anybody has any questions, please leave them. But yeah, no, it's been really exciting. We're wrapping it up. I think so. What did your last Kickstarter go at, Greg? Not your last regular Kickstarter, your Nazi Kickstarter.
Showtime?
Yeah.
Damn, what did we make?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Let me pull it up real quick.
Was it 22,533?
Are we doing a dick measuring contest?
No,
Is that what's up there?
Look at Travis all waving it
We can
around.
do a little measuring contest if you want.
When you look like Greg, then you talk about what you funded, right?
Exactly, yeah. No, I don't come to Greg's house.
And I already know he's like the best looking guy in the project, clearly.
Greg is 100% the best looking guy. If we did the calendar, it would just be 12 months of Greg.
Dressed up as different Cthulhu and Oz characters.
I'm for it. Can we just make that a pledge for the next 24 hours? Find out what
Greg,
Hey, if you say that the Kickstarter, let's go. You're about to get money.
Not to use this sexy body. Just saying.
Because I mean, right? You'll have it. It'll be printed like end of December, beginning of January. So we got 12 months for a calendar. Most people do 14 months. You know, you want to give them January and February 2022.
here's the worst part. The worst part, Greg, is I probably could just grab your Facebook pictures if I look enough. I don't even have to actually commission anything.
I've got a couple saved if you want me to send them to you.
Do we have a cover with Greg's picture?
No, but just a photo cover, right? We're not doing a photo. We're not doing a photo cover with Greg just like reading the book.
Nice.
No, I tried to, but I showed it to Greg for approval, and he said there's no way I can do a virgin cover.
You better, bro. You better. I'm gonna feel offended if you don't do it now.
But no, we've been rocking and rolling this. We're trying to wrap up. We got 25 more hours, so about a day left on this campaign before it's all said and done. We're rocking and rolling towards our next campaign. For those who don't know, Cthulhu Invades Wonderland, starting to set that up. The coolest part about that is I don't have to beg Greg this time. He actually wants to play. Like, Greg, I wanted him in this book so bad. I messaged him like once a month. Hey, can you come? He's like, yeah, I'll do it. And he's like, all right, I need a couple more days to get a script. Then we got it. Go ahead.
Sorry, that was background noise.
Okay. So then I finally got him on it, and then we got Brian Sylvia, who you don't know. Brian is a perfectionist,
dude.
So Greg was a perfectionist on his script a little bit, making sure it was right before he sent it to me. And then we had Brian doing the same thing with every page. I don't know if you remember, Greg. He was just like, does this look good, man? I can do it better. Like, is this good enough? Is this butt good enough? Is this Cthulhu good enough?
It's funny, though, because for a bunch of us, and I think, Travis, you and I were both in the same boat, we both wanted to see Greg and Brian work together so bad, because I love what both of those guys do, and I was like, dude, those two would knock it out of the park together. That was literally fan casted from my mind. Like, I wanted to see those two work together so bad.
Yeah, I actually had not even. I was shocked actually when I saw his work. I was like, yo, this dude is really awesome. And I didn't know that he was even a fan of my other stuff. So I thought that was like a perfect union. And when we connected, it was just like synergies. We worked very well together. So.
Yeah, it worked out really good. And then Ryan, who did the colors, this was early on his coloring degree, and you guys made him be a way better colorist. You ought to see what he first came up with, and then them just going, hey, we need this, we need this. Like, his coloring transformed to wow, this is a unique look to a book, because I don't think any of us have a book that looks like that. It kind of looks like an old watercolor. It's kind of cool. I really like it.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
So for the next one, are we actually going to let Stoney write, or he's a colorist now?
Yeah, he's only coloring Emily's stories. That's what we decided.
Oh, okay.
So other things I got to show you, Stoney. You have something new to color. Would you like to see what you got to color?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's showcase this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's show you what you got to color. So
we take Steven off of my coloring and put Stoney on.
Oh no! You told me to be nice.
I didn't realize he was an option.
We have got this. Can you guys all see that?
It's loading.
It's loading.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Oh, that is sexy.
Can you guys name what that is? I know Chuck can. What that's a homage from?
That's Wolverine
There
Yeah.
you go.
when they were facing the Hellfire Club.
Yeah, they
There
were.
you go.
Yeah.
Spot on.
So yeah, that's the next thing you're coloring to finish up that thing. And again, that's a print that anybody can get if they up their pledge at any time during this campaign. So if you up your pledge, don't up it and bring it down. That doesn't count. Just for the record. Someone literally asked that. You've got to keep it up.
Trav.
Yeah.
Before I go, I know you're doing that $25,000 the glowy cover, but I'm gonna throw in there because I recorded each one of those, but I recorded the high res drawing. I'll give you each one of the digital drawings of Scarecrow, TikTok, and Pumpkinhead.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So for you to give away if you guys hit that 25,000. It's not the little replay that I play on the show. I recorded it on my computer, so it's got when I zoom in and everything.
Nice. That would be really cool.
100%. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, dude.
Hey, I think it's a cool Kickstarter. It's got a lot of stuff in there, and I think that glowy cover's cool. So if I can help by giving a little fluff, so we can get there, I'm all in.
You had me in fluff.
I knew it.
We know Chuck's a pro fluffer, so.
Well, this one, wrap it up. Who do you guys want who maybe not in Cthulhu Invades Wonderland? Who do you think should be in there? I'm asking the group. What artist or writer do you guys think should be in there?
Me.
Oh,
Go ahead. I want to hear some names.
you
Wait,
gotta
are we
put the
talking
damage
like
in
anybody,
there.
independent or not? Like,
Uh,
or are we
inde-
talking about like in our community?
In our community. Though
Yeah,
I am talking about like Colin Bunn. He seems to do everything. I bet you if I throw him enough money at him, I could probably get him. Like I like Colin Bunn, but let's go around the room. Watson, who you got? Give me a name.
Victor Dandridge.
Ooh, I like Victor. Greg?
Okay, so JM is already part of it, right?
What's up?
JM Hunter's already a part of it, right? So
Sam Hunter. Yep. He's been eyeing you. I think he wants the calendar. I'm just saying.
I think it'll be interesting to see Keith Cross, who does Day Black, and something.
Okay. All right. Emily, I know you don't know the community as well, but have you got anybody you like?
I think from what I've seen, like Rich Woodall.
Rich Woodall. Yeah, that would be a good one. What do you got, Danny?
All right. Well, my obvious one, because your buddy John Hendricks could probably pull it off now because they're boys. Is Donnie Cates. But no, personally, I'm a huge Joshua Williamson fan.
Okay.
I love his run on Flash and then Nail Biter and things like that. So if Joshua Williamson would write a story, I mean, he does independent stuff, so that would be amazing.
All right. Chuck?
Come back to me. I'm looking up a name right now. Literally.
That's not how it works.
James?
Dude, there's an artist whose name I want to say that it's stuck in my head and I cannot freaking remember her name. So I'll have to look it up and text you later. But if I was going to make a suggestion, there's a guy in my Scatter Comics crew named Noel Serrato that did one of the covers for the 4th issue of Damage, and he nailed the level of energy so well. I absolutely suggest that he could create some really crazy, fantastic lines that he loves to work with. I love the action that comes from his stuff. And his name is Noel Serrato. And I love the
Shooting a
stuff
music
that he
video
does
up there, Greg?
a lot.
he's like getting the good angles. Like,
Tony, what you got?
David mentioned Anthony Cleveland, who's a hell of a writer. But if you have me and David and Anthony, all you need is Jay Sandlin if you've got the whole 2018 Mad King Full House. So
if you want people to win contests,
Anthony Cleveland. No, Anthony Cleveland's a great one because I've loved Stargazer and like that's a great one. I was also just because he's a nice guy. Two guys that are in like the indie community that I really enjoy their writing, but they're nice guys. Jared Lahand from Mad Cave as well. He won the year after Stony, and then Adam Barnhart, who's doing Shit Show for Scout. Another nice guy. So, I mean, those would be guys that I would love to see, involved as well.
If we doing more than one, Stephanie Menard for real. Like, I know I know you're trying to get Moana McAdams, so I'm not gonna mention it, but I still mention it anyway because she dope.
Love Steph.
Who you got, Chuck?
Ludovic Saleh from Tart. I love that book, and I love his art. And holy crap, I think he could destroy some Wonderland art.
Yeah.
Man. All right, let's see who we got. Some people here who recommended some people.
Did we lose James?
What happened?
Well, he probably got hit by a car. He was.
No.
And we close your eyes. Steph Wilson. Yeah, you're not allowed to see Steph Wilson's art.
I know.
We got Dino Agar. Yeah, Dino would be great.
Dino Agar. Yeah.
I don't know this one.
Avery Ferdinand is a killer colorist. He's done tons of stuff. He colored Dulce. He also colored. He's the colorist for Harlan Buck. Dude, he's he's also the guy who penciled and colored Wendy's alt cover. Avery's really good.
Kitsune would like to try out. We don't really do a tryout thing. It's kind of a invite thing. So, that's not really how it works. But you let me know you're interested is a good step.
Yeah.
Jared's great, though his character in our D&D game drives me nuts and my character up his walls. I don't know who that is. Jared who?
So, Travis, you've been asking all these questions because I feel like, you're the moderator almost at all times when you do these. But how do you feel now that it's funded, dude? Like, I mean, you've been, on here like twice, 3 times a day, dude. Like, how does it feel? I know you still got more to do in 24 hours, but...
I want to take a nap. No, I'm really, really tired. Like today's extra. Like not to break down, or like my mom. This is the anniversary of my mom's death, so it's been crazy today. Like keeping my energy up and being excited, and not because like this is super important to me and to do it. I mean, this is a level up moment. Raising this kind of money and doing this with these guys. But it's not over. I still got to do right by everybody. Right? Everyone's got to get paid. Everybody's got to get their stuff. This is not the end game. A lot of people think this is the end game, but there's still a whole nother step for me. So I still got this project, another month or so, making sure everybody gets what I promised them, making sure I remind them what I promised them. Because people forget, because people are just like excited to be part of the project, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And forget the next part of this, people are dumb. People make dumb decisions. I've seen people fight over a $4,000 Kickstarter like they had tons of money. Like, no, like printing, you're done. Greg's laughing, but he knows what I'm talking about. They're like, no, there's so much money. No, there's not, dude. There's not. There's no money. It's spent, bro. Kickstarter took 12% of it.
What about you, Travis? Who would you want on the project that isn't there already?
Donnie Cates. Hold on one second. Donnie Cates, got that. A couple more. If you, clearly you don't. We need to raise more than 20,000 if we're getting these people.
Yeah, right.
I would like Sean Barber, as he's cool. Yeah, if someone was a penciler, we would definitely grab Sean to do some inks. Jay Noble would be good. I'm not sure if he writes outside of Total Rad, though. David Frott did a great cover for Big Dog. Didn't David Frott do a cover for you, too, Chuck?
He did, yep. Solid artist. Good dude.
Yeah. What else? Hold on. He's reached his pinnacle. What is it? When you funded, do you go through a Highlander style quickening? I felt like it, man. It's been exhausting, man, because the numbers kept going up and down. We've had a couple of bad little things that's drained my energy a few times. My wife says I'm getting older. Literally says your gray hair is getting out of control. But if those don't know, let's throw up so people don't know where to go to even talk about it. Right here, if you haven't backed, make sure you back, guys. We're trying to get an extra $2,500 to get that wonderful glow in the dark, so everybody's happy and they can glow in the dark.
And
Right.
you like something about a book plate, right? For the hard, if you back the hardcover.
Yeah. So on the hardcover, you get a book plate signed by Kyle Willis that he's going to design. He's going to have a design for it too. We also added today 2 more options. Let me show those real quick just before we get too distracted.
Running a long, hard Kickstarter is like being president of the United States. By the time it's done, you're gray, you're old, you're haggard, you look rough as hell. Like, that's what running a good Kickstarter does to you. Is by the even a rough one, but either way, like when you really put your heart into it and you work hard, whether you succeed or fail, it doesn't matter. You look the same.
Yeah.
Unless you're Greg Alisi.
Yeah, Greg just gets more abs. That's what happens with me.
What is a 12-pack? What the hell are you talking about?
I was stressed out with Showtime. Showtime stressed me out so much.
Yeah.
I didn't
It was
want
a good campaign. You ran a good campaign, but yeah, they're stressful, man.
Oh man, I was avoiding anything to do with panels or discussions afterwards. I was just, my brain was just fried. I couldn't do that shit no more.
Yeah, dude. That was me after Belial, and then it was like, Chuck, we need you for Cthulhu and for Essence House. I'm like, oh yeah. I took like 3 days off and came back again.
Well, Greg had the same problem. He had to do his other one. He just got off a Kickstarter. You know, with his 123 Realms. That's the name of the company, right?
It was 133 Art, and we did one for Stronghold, where I tried to give energy with it. I tried my best. I was already just drained from Ms. Nana, but I tried my best to try to space out Kickstarters, but there are times where we're already pushing them back in order to accommodate for mine. So sometimes it's only so much we can keep pushing it back.
Well, one of the things that Greg and I have privately talked that I don't think is a big deal that we bring up here is people don't understand sometimes that like not everything funds the same. So like me making $20,000, there is going to be a fool who's going to message me and say, hey, can you write for me? I'm going to write for them inevitably. We're going to make $5,000. You're going to be like, how'd you raise 20,000? I had 52 other people with me. That's how I'm like, and they don't get it. It's even in my own properties, Voodoo Nations versus Brokedown, they fund differently. Baal versus Essence House, they all fund differently. But people just see the higher number and they think that that's what it is. But it works that way in Marvel and DC too, right? Brian Michael Bendis, Superman's still selling well, but the Naomi and the Young Justice didn't sell well and got canceled. Like,
is Superman selling well?
I mean, it's selling Superman numbers bad.
So I have to ask, guys. By the time that the campaign ends, are we going to find out where James is going to? Like, will James get there?
No, it's going to go on into the next campaign.
Is he going to Wonderland? Is that where he's going? We'll just meet him there.
Going?
Daniel just upped his flash to get that hardcover.
Pictures didn't happen. I know how it is.
Thank you so much, Daniel. See,
Thank
he's a
you, Daniel.
hardcover guy too. He knows what's up. Oh look, Avery Ferdinand is here.
Avery Ferdinand.
Didn't we just say his name? Yeah, Wendy.
Yeah, we did. He's a killer colorist.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's I say? So James, I just want to warn you, your love of chickens is really stretching on the Dan Nook territories, or Dan Knox, however you say it. Like, you got to be careful.
Don Knotts?
I'll fight him over the power of the chicken. I'm totally okay with an artistic duel.
So
I'll throw down.
So James,
I want to see that.
Chickens. We're gonna need him to come on the Voodoo Nations 2 cover, because if anybody here has seen Aqua Teen Hunger Force, I can't look or read Voodoo Nations without thinking of the Voodoo Priest. He's like, "Arise, chicken, arise," and that's our cover for Voodoo Nations 2. So we do have a chicken opening for you, James. We do.
They're doing good.
I never knew how much I loved chickens until I did that Cthulhu story.
Hi, Emily. You gotta go?
Bye, Emily. Or is Emily leaving?
No, Emily's not. We were waving bye to Mike.
Oh.
Yep, I'm taking off, guys. See ya.
Bye,
Oh,
Mike.
Mike's leaving. Bye, Mike.
The epic.
See ya.
I'm not. Emily's
If
just
there
like.
was a chicken in Wonderland, I would probably find it and try to do it. I may try to lay dibs on the dodo bird.
All right. So let's go to the Kickstarter for a second. There we go. I want to show you the new pledge level. Show people the new pledge level just so we get them out there because you guys probably don't know
We
about
added the calendar? Dang, you did that quick, dude.
So if you guys want to own the original art for the hardcover, it's $885, which I assume is what Daniel meant that he raised his pledge to. So yeah, thank you. You can get the original piece by Kyle Willis. It'll be sent to you. We're really proud that you invested that much in this project. It's really, really good. Beware the Rock of Doom. So that's $85. We also added the Virgin of that cover. So you can get the Virgin of that now for a decent price. It's $60. Yeah, it's $60 for the Virgin, or you can add it as an add-on for $38. So if you really like that cover, you can do that. The reason why we did that is because Kyle Willis is known for making remarks. Like he does CDC remarks, that's what he does. So we wanted to give him a cover for him to do that. Got a private message. Bailing out, that's Michael Watson. So, so we're wrapping up this campaign. I don't want to keep us on too much longer, but does anybody have anything else they want to talk about? Talk about for Cthulhu Invades Oz, any stories they want to share about where they've been, how they got here, or anything?
So while everybody else thinks about that, I do just want to say, Travis, while he won't say it to anybody, is one of the hardest working guys I know. And he's put together a heck of a team here. Most of these guys I'd met prior to the project. Stoney, I had literally interviewed like a week or two before I knew he was doing this about a completely different thing. But I knew a lot of guys, and then everybody that I've seen him introduce on these shows, like Greg and Emily and James, who I'm pretty sure James is part car. Like that's what Owen. This is
Yeah, I
what
think
Owen
he's
Wilson was
attached to
before
the scene.
cars.
He's an
won.
Autobot.
Yeah.
You guys just
But,
put a huge smile on my face trying to say that. You guys don't even understand exactly. I'm always rebuilding old cars. I love drawing cars in my comics, and I just bought like my third motorcycle, so I'm a little bit addicted to cars and stuff.
He is the car, but yeah, I just want to say everybody attached to this project is like not just an awesome creator, but a really good person, and that can't go unsaid. I just want to definitely say that. Even Emily, who like probably has like an amazing future in comics because she's only like 14. Again, just if you can fund it just to help everybody and help their dreams, I think that's awesome of you.
Well, it's not necessarily, it's already funded. If you can get them that glow in the dark, that's what I'm saying.
Get me the glow in the dark. Yes.
Anybody else?
Nah.
I guess thanks for having me on board.
I went straight.
Well, I want to say two things. One, I just got home. So I've actually arrived. No, it only took me a week.
Yeah.
That is the only time I've ever totally clapped on this show.
I being a part of this was a surprise for me, and I was looking for something to remotivate me because I had jacked my head up after doing a successful Kickstarter, and I kind of psyched myself out about a lot of stupid crap. And when Travis asked me to be a part of it, I tend to use things like that as those challenges into motivating me to get up off my ass and to do stuff. And it's tied into my need to perform for other people. And I really, really appreciated, Travis, you bringing me into it. One, it was way, way, way more fun doing it than I thought it was going to be. It turned out way more beautiful than what I had in my head. And I absolutely loved proving that I could do it to myself. And it motivated me to do anything. Because not only did I get that done, I actually finished Damage Inc. issue 5 while I was doing it, which I've been putting off forever, and it kind of reinvigorated myself to do a lot of other things. So I wanted to say thank you to Travis because that was a big part of me for the last few months, and I really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing come out. I really enjoyed being a part of something so big. I'd been wanting to be a part of a big anthology for a while. I just did one with Scattered, but it was much smaller and more cohesive. This was like this big, like energetic, like back and forth that kind of turned into something really special, and I enjoyed it a lot. So I wanted to say thank you.
Well, you know what? Why don't we do this for a minute? So to wrap up, give it a little bit more time. I want to answer some of these questions. The Bloody Brick Rag, I know I just got stuff from Chuck. Chuck's going to send me some Welcome to the Voids and Bials. Stoney's going to send me some Villainous. James is going to send me some Damage Inc. Greg says he'll send me some. We got to figure that out. And Emily's going to sign some Dust County. She doesn't know it yet, though. So everybody's got some stuff in that bag.
Guys, Emily is her own person. She does what she wants. All right. I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing this. All right. She's not going to go out for stuff anymore, Travis.
Greg, don't do it. Don't do an anthology. They're paying. But no, let me go. I'm going to go around the room and say the story of how you guys got involved a little bit. I think that would be fun real quick as before we wrap out. So we're going to start with Greg. So Greg, I got to tell you, and Chuck can back me up on this, I wanted you in this so bad. That's why I hounded you. And you're the only one who I hounded. Because when I read The Gentleman, I was blown away at what you did. And then someone sent me a copy. He's like, The Gentleman's crap. Here, read his real work. And I was like, oh, all right. And then Caleb backed you up, giving me your little backup story on that. And then you were working with Walter. Me and Walter had just started being friends and doing my cover for Broke Down. Said I can't do it because I'm working with you. And then I just sat there until he worked for me too. But that's irrelevant. That's a different story. But you are such a talent, man. And I really I was like, I need to make sure that I have, a great voice in this that is powerful. And when you were like, hey man, I like to really represent the Black community, and I was like, let's do it. The Wizard of Black community not only resonated with me, I think it makes the book better, especially when you think about the Wizard specifically, right? If you add this as like a secret history, right? Playing an old white dude is just another mask, from the green mask to everything else. Like, it really adds an extra layer if you really got deep with it, man. Like, I think you should write a whole Wizard story. Do it up. Talk to Brian. Do an ongoing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate being a part of it. It was a lot of fun, especially when I started seeing everyone's stories come together. When I read the proof, I was like, yo, this came out way better than I thought, because I already knew it was going to come out really great, but I was actually just blown away. And just seeing how everything was put together, and there was a chronological timeline that everything just break down and happen. I was just like, yo, Travis is a madman to be organizing this crazy book, and I'm excited to be a part of the next one. So thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So let's go. What do we got here? Travis spin-off ideas pouring out. We can't tell you. I got to tell you. So I'm not going to announce it, but the people who are in the Wonderland group, Wonderland's going to be better. Like, we have an amazing idea and concept behind it that is going to be so dope. So you haven't seen anything yet. I said the fact that the project was able to bring so many creators together, inspired so many others. You are all inspiring the rest of us to work harder and better for yourself. Thank you. No problem. So the second thing, Chuck. Chuck was really Chuck was always in. Chuck and me are boys, so he's always in. But what Chuck wasn't in is he wasn't at the Scarecrow level. Because I told Chuck specifically, man, I need some big guys, and here's my big guys. And I gave him a list of big guys. We're not going to go over those because some of them were supposed to be in the project and for various reasons weren't. We don't want to talk into that. But I had 4 guys lined up to do the 4 characters who I thought would do them. And then, within an hour of that conversation, Chuck's like, no, I got an idea for the Scarecrow, man. Trust me. Trust me. and I can get you Kyron if you give me the story. And he pitched me the idea over the phone. I was like, I gave it to you. I'm giving it to you, man. You get it. Because one of the things that Chuck and I struggle with, and we just talked on the phone about it last night, is we don't, even though we are 100% professional comic creators, we only accept it from people who are lower than us. And we're not trying to say that to downplay anybody, but someone who's coming up, like who hasn't done a Kickstarter, who hasn't done comics, or doesn't have a few things, we're like, oh yeah, I am a pro. But if someone like Greg, who's killing it every book, we're like, oh, I mean, we're here. You know, we still have to wear shirts. Leveling us up and getting us to the next level, like, we sometimes have to remind ourselves how talented we are. And that's where Chuck and I's relationship really works, is because we're always like, no, man, like, you are top billing. Like, most of the time when he's editor, I'm like, man, you should be the first name in the book. Like, you're more known than everybody else in the book. So, but not only was Chuck excited, but like, he was like really, really excited to help pick the teams and really get involved in the whole thing from day one. Like, let's do this right. He was the one who was like, can't invite all of Florida. He was the one who made that call for me. Like, he's like, this is going to be the toughest thing for you. You having it all Florida doesn't help the rest. You got there. That fan base is shared. You're gonna have to break your molds and do that. He was the first one to suggest that. I ended up going to a lot of Florida anyways, but
but you still like moved beyond. And I was like, we need to be able to have everybody in every coast, like all the way across, and it happened. You know, like we have everybody from all over the place. Yeah,
but yeah.
No, I'm gonna let you finish kissing my ass. I'm loving this.
Yeah. No, so Chuck was on it from the start, really building this community and helping it and going right. And what's really good is Chuck has seen me run the Advocator and really pointing out my shortcomings in the Advocator. Not the Advocator was wrong. Like, I ran this way better than I ever did the Advocator, even though they're very similar. Just with timelines and deadlines and making sure that you guys were on it, making sure that the community, and that's because we picked the talent. We didn't do the typical thing, and that's why people wanted to work on it, right? Greg can look at the list of the creators and go, oh, all right, these guys are pretty dope. Like, I'm going to work on this book. Versus going, who do you have? We have John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith, and this guy is his name too.
I did stop billing on that book.
The funny thing about Travis is I've started to think about it more and more, and I think I'm actually like the Jiminy Cricket on his shoulder a lot of times, because he'll come to me, and especially through this project, you know, I get all that behind, you know, like when we're doing a project, and you guys all know this, when you're doing a project, you have to be all positivity, you have to be completely excited, all that kind of stuff. And so Travis and I, through our projects, we could then call each other up and just be like, yo, today was a fucking shitty day. Holy crap. And so he would call me up, and I remember there was a time where he was like, dude, man, do you know how much we have to make in a day? And I was like, shut the fuck up. He's like, no, mathematically. And I'm like, that math isn't going to help you. I told you from day one, we're going to hit at least 22K. I said it from day one. That's always what we were going to do in my mind. I knew it. And he was like, okay, but do you know how much we have to do in a day? Shut up. That's not helping you. Keep pushing. That math has never been your friend, man. Let go of that shit. You're a writer, okay? Why you're going to math, I don't know. But I kept, no, dude, it's not going to do it. And so here we are. So I fucking told you so. But also, you know, dude, this has just been such an amazing process, and I love how it came together. I've been a big, you know, proponent of this specific thing and the things that have made it special. You're totally right with the whole Scarecrow thing. I didn't want to take it either. You know what I mean? Right. But more and more, that idea came to me, and I was just like, dude, I got a really, really strong story for the Scarecrow. Like, I really feel like this will work. And I told him, and I pitched it, and he believed in me. And I feel really good about how my whole team made that work. And I was really behind my team and going, come on, guys, like, this is what we're going to do. And the whole team was super excited. Kyron the whole time is talking about, like all three of us were saying it. We didn't feel like we were the top guys, but we got one of the top characters, so we had to act like the top guys. We had to perform at that level, and we all pushed each other. And I think all of us did some of the best work we've done. So I'm really happy with it, and I have some great memories too, man. I remember late one night, Mr. Greg there messages me, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm thinking about using the Scarecrow. Is that an issue?" And I'm like, "Well, depending on when you do it, yeah, it could be." So he's like, "Well, you just want me to send you my script?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that'd be awesome." And then I was like, "Do you want to see mine?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay." So we got to, and that doesn't happen on, you never see that on anthologies where two dudes are like, "Hey, here's the recipe, go ahead." Like, nobody does that. But we both did that, and we're both like, "Holy shit, look what you're doing. This is ridiculous." Like, we got to like see how the other guy, worked behind the scenes and all that stuff. Like, it was so cool. And that just doesn't happen. That's not a normal thing. And yet there was this atmosphere of camaraderie. Like, one person would put up a picture and everybody was like, "Oh snap, that's awesome." And then all of a sudden, bam, 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 everyone else had to start showing their shit off because we were all proud. And it wasn't about one-upping. It's like, no, I'm here too. Look what I'm doing. And it was so awesome that behind the scenes group was just something special. That's what I'll miss the most, is the production group. When it was at its height, that was just something to behold.
And it was a lot of fun, on a lot of projects, you get excited because a lot of pages, the negative of being an indie writer is we wait for pages to come in. And they always come in 3 to a week later than they're supposed to come in. But when you get a surprise page, right? Because all these people are working, you're like, "Oh, that's a page of my book." It's not the one I'm doing, but it's a page of my book. I remember sitting with Greg and going over his story and going, "Oh, do you know about this character?" And Greg's like, "That's my ending." And like, he's like logged off and gave me a new ending, like, because we added a new character that he didn't know about Oz, which is really, really cool. And made your story way better, that little twist. Yeah.
I was very, because like I was stuck on something. I remember, like, I was like, I'm missing a key thing. I don't know what the hell it was. And you just messaged me out of nowhere, like, "Hey, do you know this character?" And everything just finally came together. It was just like, thank you. This is it. This was the key. And I mean, going back to even what Chuck said too, like, one of my things was I love seeing different people's ideas, because I thought it would have been cool to see some type of interaction with some people's stories. And I also just didn't want to step on anyone's toes for any of the characters I probably had in mind that I wanted to showcase, which is why, like, for example, the Glinda the Witch, when she goes insane in her story, I thought it would have been cool to actually even mention that briefly, given that the wizard has a bit of a relationship with Glinda the Witch. So I thought it would be cool just to sort of have that connection with some of the stories in some way.
Well, you are more than welcome to add stuff if you can fit a line in the bubbles. We aren't in print yet, brother. And that's one of the things we're going to do with Wonderland is we actually just talked about it. By the way, Kurt, we can announce it here, actually, Chuck. Chuck, myself, and Kurt have all talked about it. We're gonna write a beginning, middle, and end, and make sure to share it with everybody. So we're gonna start a group pretty soon, and we're gonna come up with a beginning, middle, and end that everyone else plays with. But we're still gonna be free line. What I loved about Greg is even though you didn't have that connection piece, the positive pieces, you had freedom to do what you needed to do with that character, which is really good. So we're trying to find a balance for both, and I think it'll be really good.
So to piggyback on what Travis was kind of just saying, and then what Lisa actually just said in the comments, I clearly was not in the production side of this, like, at all. But Travis sent me an invite to the production group once I had my page in there, so I kind of was able to see. And I'm like, so a little background on me: I went to school for a journalist, so I'm a sleuth. So I'm like, oh, let me see, like, what's been going on. And honestly, man, it reminds me when I was in college. I was on the college newspaper, and we had like absolutely no funds. but we loved what we did. So we would literally like use our own money to go to away games. We would all submit stories for free. We would just be like, oh, here, I submitted something. It's on your desk. And that's kind of what it reminds me of with all of you guys, that literally, first of all, clearly everybody's heart is in their project or in their story, in their art and everything. And it's kind of so fun to see you guys bounce off of each other. Like exactly how you said with Greg and everything like that. Like it's happening all over the place with this project. And I'm sure you're going to take that all with you to Wonderland. And it's only going to get better because chemistry just makes projects and collaborations better. And clearly you guys all have chemistry. So.
Well, that's one of the comments that I've been getting from a lot of people who've done anthologies before. They're like, I actually knew the other people in the anthology, which is great. Like, actually, you know, most people just like, oh, the art, you get it finished. You're like, oh, you were in that book? I was in that book too. Hey. So Emily, let me tell Emily's story. Emily, Emily, believe it or not, I actually wanted you to do that work for a real long time. I was actually waiting to see what would happen with the Scout deal because I wanted to see your pages. Because originally for the Scout deal, you were actually going to do pages, remember?
Yeah.
Right, there was a possibility of doing pages. So I was waiting to see that, and then that just never flourished because she's an amazing artist. I mean, she just posted a whole bunch of like little pinups in the thing that we'll have to figure out. You know, I don't know if we'll have to make a director's cut. You know, I don't know what we'll do with them, but she made some amazing. And if you guys didn't notice, for those who saw them, her art has leveled up. Like it's better than what's in the book because she keeps leveling up. She's amazing. So that is. That's been amazing to watch that and watch that grow. So thank you for doing what you do. I mean, appreciate you so much.
I try my best.
I mean, my wife tried to adopt you all the other day. So I mean, if that's not a sign.
He wants another?
I made this.
If you want to adopt me, you come on over.
He needs to hold on. He needs to hold on to that tax deduction. You know, he's not going to give that up, Travis.
From what I can tell, you just need a Switch and a tablet, right? And you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we've got a spare bedroom. Look, you can. There's a bed right there. It's free. Nice
I thought that's where I was going to stay once I'm homeless, dude.
No, you're staying with David.
It's okay. I can sleep on the floor.
I like David. I can deal with David.
I can fall asleep literally anywhere. And I feel like most people here know that from firsthand experience. Me at like comic events, just falling asleep.
I just assumed Emily lived in that chair, like where she is, like right next to Baby Yoda and everything. Like that's just where I assumed she lived.
Yeah, oddly enough, it's pretty much where I live because this is my office.
Yeah, I almost never go in here.
I'm
So
in
he lost his office during Invades Oz.
Friday already.
So Clinton loves Chuck.
Yep, good dude.
Northeast loves Greg, and Travis and Chuck.
It was good.
Okay, I'll take
Greg
it.
loves
James
everyone.
loves everybody. You gotta forget the rest of us. You had to make sure you took care of you and Chuck first.
By the way, James just got added to the book. He is coloring the Don Yen piece.
Congrats.
Tony was too expensive, so
Wow.
we went with JW. You know, Sony's like, you know how many interviews I've done for you? It's $70,000 a page.
Yeah.
Sonia,
Hey, he didn't even give you a price. Actually, I believe he just said you can't afford me. That was all he said. You can't afford me. How much are you? You can't afford me. If you have to ask the price, you don't have enough money.
Sony's a unique talent. You know, there's plenty of people out there writing and drawing their own books. How many are writing and coloring their own books? They skip the lines, go straight to the color.
Yeah.
So, Danny, you were the first person that I abused my power with. Not the last.
No, he's not. No, he's
Who else did I abuse my power with?
You're married, right?
What you ask? I feel like
And you have kids?
As
As a publisher. Oh, yeah, you got to be very okay. I get you.
I mean, like, are you talking about with the anthology we're doing?
yeah,
later?
and inviting you in because you know my rule. Ask Chuck. Chuck, what was one of the rules to be invited to this book?
There was a lot of rules. You've got to
the
be
one
at
we
least
didn't-
this tall.
Well, the one that we didn't talk about, that we didn't publicly say, you had to have been published in something. That
Oh yeah, we did have
Am I
that.
the
Yeah.
only unpublished person?
Correct.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you were the only unpublished person because even Emily, she's got a scout credit.
I love that.
Exactly.
I love that you said it like that. Even the 14-year-old is published. Danny.
Quick, it's like, oh, even Emily is like, no, and like and I actually told Travis, so like, first of all, I had that like moment where, so I've written tons of things, and I've also gone to like some film school, so like I know like establishing shot, this, that, and the third, but like writing panels is a little bit different. So I picked like 3 or 4 people's brains, and then I'm like, I got 1 page. What do you think? How many panels do you think I should go for? And on the advice of Jonathan Hedrick, I went with 9, and Brian Silverbacks was not excited about that.
Of course he wasn't.
John,
I'm John's editor. I would have told him to go f*** himself. That's ridiculous.
John, I'm like, because my question to John was not how many panels do you think I should do. I said
that's atrocious.
on average,
How
John.
dare you?
On average, John, how many panels do you do? He goes 5, and I'm like, cool. That's where I was thinking of going. He's like, but if you got 1 page, 9 is probably the way to go. And
I can tell you when there's 5.
So I took those 9 panels, and I went, I'm like, I got to give Travis my best foot forward. He's going to hate me. Like, so I put all this in there, and Brian's like, look, we're cutting this down 5. There's going to be 1 good establishing shot. He's like, we're going to have these little guys. They're munchkins, man. Like, don't worry about it.
Whenever I'm editing a comic and I see more than 7 panels on a page, my question immediately is, how well do you know your artist? And if they say, not that well, I'll say, then you're not doing more than 7. Because unless you know they're cool with it, they're not cool with it.
And there was 1 panel where
like, tainted.
Where in my mind, and Emily will probably like want to beat me up for this. So there was 1 panel in there where, like, in my mind, I'm like, all right, he's gonna go into like the town to warn these people. So like, the foolish owl flies. He is an owl, he flies. He's not a penguin. So he's in the air, and I'm like, all right, in this shot, he's in the air, and he's looking down at the town folk, and it looks like a town. And Brian's like, we're not drawing those buildings. We're just going to take this all rural. We're going to put this out in the countryside. And I'm like, as long as the core values are there, I'm good. I'm just like, I did not want Travis to think I was phoning this in. Like, 1 page sounds like something easy, but it was not. It was not.
Next time I want video of the conversation with Brian. I want to see that conversation with Brian.
No, Brian. The good thing is I had just dropped Brian off at the airport like the day before, so I think we were still on like relatively really good terms, like where he didn't hate me just yet. So, but like it went from being like, oh, he really likes me to, damn, this guy, I don't know.
Welcome to being a writer, Danny.
Yeah. Artists don't like you once they start drawing your thing. They really love you. And
Goodness gracious.
So, and that's why Emily hates you so much, Travis.
Well, I haven't,
I'm not supposed to tell him that yet. I was supposed to make an exposing video.
If Travis ends up dead before like the book is printed, Emily will be the first suspect.
I have a project where I'm
just in my backyard.
I have a project that I'm just a writer on, and they have another publisher, like an overseer, who's kind of the money guy, and we're literally at colors, and he's like, I hate this guy's face. Where? Oh, all of it from the beginning. I was like, you're telling the artist that. I am not getting involved. Like, I am done. You approve that. Good luck.
Holy shit.
Anyway, so Danny, so the reason why it's not 100%, one, because I like you, I think you're a good dude, but we have all been there at a breakup with that changes your world, that changes everything. And if you make a mistake in that, like, you can really go down bad paths. So I felt a responsibility as a guy who, it's been very clear that you looked up to me until you met Jonathan Hendricks, and then you didn't care. But when before that, I was very inspirational to you. So I wanted to give you something to really take your mind off of that stuff and give you something creative to pour your mind into art. Because nothing makes better art than being brokenhearted. Nothing makes better art. Period. It's most of people's best work are when they're broken or when you have abs like Greg. Those are the two things that really inspire you to write good.
Greg's like trying to like low-key be like, "Girl, I'm not sexy. Like, only look at me from here." And it's like, dude,
What are you
like,
talking about? Greg is looking for a date.
good.
He's
Like,
looking on this corner with his phone going.
yeah.
He's trying to
And then you
He's
get a
trying to
little
swipe
warning.
right on his laptop.
Yeah, right.
Nah. Yeah, nah.
I've been working on script and comedy, the most I've ever seen this page. Greg, my artist loves me. All books should be nothing but splashes, says my artist.
Yes, I agree.
My writer side says, put as much on a page as humanly possible.
Yeah, and like I went again, so I did everything in journalism school. So it's like we did page design where it's like you don't want blank space. So like I'm thinking, oh, I gotta fill this panel, like so I need the, and I'm sitting there like literally all the things, and it's like, so I played baseball and then I tried to play golf. And those are two things that, while you think they go together, they don't, because your golf swing is terrible because it looks like
we don't think they go together. Just for the record, that's.
It's because you guys are old and have golfed longer than I.
See,
When
I was
got into golf, I was
they went
like,
together fine.
this is the same thing. Michael Jordan would do it.
Bro, you know?
But anyways,
You do know Michael Jordan played baseball next after basketball.
and he was bad at both. Oh, he was bad at baseball and golf.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
Because he
bad
should
at
have stuck to a man's sport.
Listen,
Basketball.
this isn't about me and golf. This isn't about me and golf. It's that I literally sat here and thought, I'm drawing this, or I'm writing this like a movie script, and I need the panel and the arc and everything. And Brian just was not about that. Like I was, but I learned. I was paid in this with experience because I learned.
I think what a lot of the other writers would tell you, and I'm sure that the other four dudes would agree with me, our job as a writer is not to fill in the panel. It is to inspire the artist to fill in the panel. Our job as the writer is to give them a full enough and exciting enough story that we only have to give minor details, and then they automatically want to add their own stuff in there and play with it and have some fun. And the more that you can get out of your artist and the more that you can make them want to play, the more you won. And frankly, kind of the less work you had to do. You still have to do that work to inspire them and get them excited, but that really is your chief goal, is to inspire them to make it even better than you imagined.
Well, yeah, and like, you know, the 9 panels probably wasn't ideal, but Brian, as a good artist, was able to get what was in those 9 panels and be like, hey, bro, I know you weren't thinking about this shit, but I'm going 5, and I can put what you put in those 9 into 5. And I'm like, dope. I didn't think about that, but let's do it. Like, you know, 'cause that's what it's kind of that give and take, right? Like, you're the writer. You're not thinking of this part, that part. He or she is. And then you're just like.
Let me give you some advice from a better writer than me. If you have a fight scene and you can't have another fight scene, have a breakdancing scene. It really breaks it up. Greg taught me that. Like, if you can't have another fight scene, just have a breakdancing scene that leads into a fight scene, because breakdancing is awesome. And you know this.
Greg has breakdancing scenes in his books, because I need these books then.
Yeah, you need these books. So Greg, Danny runs a store. Greg has a store. You have retail packages, right?
I don't have it yet. It's coming.
Well,
Okay.
let me know. We got it. We just sold out of hybrids, so I have an empty space on the wall. So.
Well, so I guess that means that Belial 3, there's going to be a dance off. I'm going to have to make that happen.
You do need a dance off. I'm excited, but no, you got to get your book into his store in Florida. It's very indie friendly, very, very good. So see what you can do, Greg. Make that happen. All of them.
I won't forget about your issue 2. I promise. I learned from my mistake with Villainous. I will not forget about issue 2.
Greg does one shots, which is really good. So it's
then I can't forget about your issue 2. It's like impossible.
Greg, are you going with the trade next, or you got one more volume?
First Nana, you're talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, right? I have for volume 3. I'm just gonna be collecting the one shots and the shorts that I've done the past, I say 2 or so years. And then volume 4 will most likely be one big story again, like volume 1 and 2.
Okay.
Is that with like John Henry and everything else?
Yeah, that will be part of volume 3.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Right there, that ends with a dance off. Like, yes, of course. I
It's
learned
a
everything.
9-panel dance off. It's a
This has been
9-panel.
A 9-panel dance off.
this has been bugging me since I had Stoney on my interview like 3 months ago or 2 months ago. I have the same exact framed print that he has over his shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Mine's signed by Jim Lee. Is yours signed?
My lithograph one is signed by Jim Lee, but they don't make a frame that big, so I just framed the. I don't have money. I don't have the money to make custom frames. My Kickstarters don't hit 20,000 usually. You know.
Not all of us can be Travis. I mean,
Yeah.
Dude, I am so broke. You have no idea. Do the math on the Kickstarter.
From his car. He clearly doesn't have a house anymore.
Absolutely, Jerome. I just colored it. So, Stoney, I have never wanted anybody in Cthulhu Invades Wonderland until I met you. Like, literally, like your promotion and your drive for this book that you colored. And I'm not trying to downplay coloring. I just don't do it, so I don't know how to not downplay it. Sorry, James. James is my colorist. But no, like you have worked so hard to make this thing happen, and I believe this wouldn't have happened without you. I believe you did a lot of work. I really appreciate you.
well, thank you so much.
I'm so excited to get you in as a writer to learn who you are. You know, so you're not just that guy who David knows who can color. Who I say, hey, can we
He
get him
can
to
allegedly color. None of us, besides like a couple of us, have seen like. Most people haven't seen it yet.
I have been very fair with my stories. Stoney sent me his colors, and I was like, cool. Hey, I'm going to introduce you to somebody to help you make these better.
Well, isn't Stoney's like story on this that like during COVID, during lockdown, like he wanted to pick up another skill, and you just kind of started doing, coloring and more coloring, and now you're gonna be a published colorist.
Right, yeah. I could not be more honored and feel more privileged to be a part of this, to have my name next to some of these folks, even just as, not to downplay it again, but just as a colorist when writing is, my primary thing. And I fell in love with this project and through the production group. Like, I kind of feel like I'm probably a bit spoiled now. Like, no other anthology I could be a part of is going to meet the standard that's been set here with this project. So I definitely feel like I've probably been spoiled a bit. But I want this to happen so bad. I am just so excited about it and so honored to be here.
Every anthology wants you in their book, just so you know. That attitude is what they're all looking for. Which is weird that Chuck and I don't get accepted to more anthologies, because we're pretty positive about everything we do. I don't understand.
Chuck is on I'm
actually in a lot of anthologies.
Chuck's name, so like the Collective Initiative probably has like, I don't know, maybe 15 books, into like 15 different titles, if you don't include Broke Down 1, 2, and 3 and all that. And I want to say Chuck's name's in like 7 to 8 of them. Like, Chuck edits everything, man. Like, gosh, I didn't even notice in some of them. I'm like, oh, Chuck worked on this one. All right.
To be fair, Chuck is in issue 3 as a consultant.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. And what's funny is, you say I've only been rejected from one. From one single anthology. The rest, I just didn't fucking have the time for them. I'm like, oh, we're doing this anthology. Cool. I hope it goes well. I got work to do, man. Like, to me, it's honestly, and yell at me if you want. it's kind of a money sink, and I don't have a lot of money. Like, I gotta take care of all this other stuff. So luckily with this one, I was able to get a team together who was all super excited for the book and who really felt like this was a level up for us. And I'm like, oh, cool. You guys are fine with just splitting the books or whatever afterwards? Great. Let's do that. Like, I'm in. That's great. Because, yeah, man, I don't want to spend several $100s in order to be a 4-page piece that's in with 30 other 4-page pieces.
Well, I gave you 8 pieces. That's with 52 other 4-page 10 pieces.
I know. I feel pretty good about that. That's how you got me. I was going to say no, and you're like, I'll give you 8. And I'm like, all right, okay. I'll take it.
No, I said I'd give you 4, and you're like, can I get 2 4s? I was like, all right, part 1 and 2.
So we'll just let Chuck like stare at our book for 5 minutes, and then we'll throw his name on it, right?
That's how it goes.
To be fair, the part 1 and 2 was Chuck told me the story, and I was like, I really like that story, but I think it needs some time. Are you okay with making it part 1 and 2? And he's like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah, no, I thought that was great. I jumped on it, yeah.
Because I felt like the story to make an impact and to really impact the day. In fact, the major pieces, it's actually kind of funny that Chuck's story, Greg's story, my story are really 3 of the major moving the plot forward stories, moving the end game towards the end game. There's a couple other ones too, but we're here in the room. So I think that's interesting. All right, so we've been here a long time. We're at 555 for backers, which is a couple backers up, which is great.
Yeah, we made I want to say we made like $200, $300 while we were here because I had
Yeah. People up their pledges, definitely. So what we lost and what we don't have in backers, people have upped their pledges.
My mama, granted, she don't know nothing about comics, but my mama backed it on the digital level so she could at least read my story.
Tell her I love her.
Yes, I'll tell her every day.
Why Mama Morales so cheap?
Mama Morales came to my house and helped me clean on her day off, so I wasn't gonna tell her nothing. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw that we have a gift option that's like you can send it to somebody and it goes with a Christmas card. A lot of fancy words and things that I didn't bother reading. And I
He's a writer.
You know what? I'm gonna buy that and I'm gonna ship that shit to my ex-girlfriend and be like,
Danny, if you could,
what are you doing? How many of your kids are failing? Because I'm published.
Thanks, Danny. I now have to write a evil Christmas card. I thought they were all going to be really positive experiences where I say Happy Christmas to somebody's family.
Danny, if you could do me a favor, next time he comes to the collective, when you bitch slap him for talking shit about your mom, if you could just send me the video, because I think we've all wanted to give him a fucking back of the hand cuff. So yeah, I can see that.
To be fair,
but people don't realize that Travis is like the nicest asshole you'll ever meet. The kindest, warm-heartedest asshole you'll just ever see.
The first time I got to hang out with him was at MegaCon last year. And I was just trying to be a nice guy. I was like, he's like, hey man, why don't we go over to this bar and get some drinks and whatever? And I'm like, actually, I have some beers in my car right now. He's like, I don't want your fucking car beers. Let's go get some good beers. I'm like, oh shit, I'll buy them. I'm like, so you're being a total asshole, calling me cheap, but you're offering to buy, so you're also being a really cool dude. All right, you're a cool dude. Buy me some beers.
So Travis, I won't say on what day. I mean, it was a day. He had this signing at our store that was planned we planned it like months in advance. And he's like, hey, I forgot to tell my wife. I told her that you guys sprung it on me last minute. I'm like, what? Why do I get thrown under the bus? I
can't see who's watching, so if my wife is watching, Danny, I am now screwed. And then I'll just, you'll know if I cancel the Kickstarter, I'll go because of Danny. I'll put that in some notes.
I didn't say what day it was. It could have been like a day,
You're good. My wife loves me. She knows me. So because there's a lot of people who did this book, when the con thing happens again, are you guys going to go on the con show together so I can't get everyone's signature? I wouldn't say together, but a lot of us go to the same cons. So we'll be there. I know I want to go up in the Chicago area. which I know Greg does that con, right?
Yeah, I've done PocketCon and I did C2E2 for the first time this year? Yeah, this year.
Yeah, that was this year, man.
I want to do
Wow.
C2E2. I will do C2E2 when it's back. So well, some of them. If you bought the signed one, you're going to have a lot of our signatures. You'll have Emily's, you'll have mine. You'll probably have Danny's. Danny will probably come down. You'll have a lot of our signatures on that. There's going to be at least 5, minimum 5, but it's actually probably closer
going to be a smidge over that because I mean, really, you got you, Emily, David, John. Like that's like
right. Well,
really
and we've got if you come and David, the poet comes, the guy who does poetry.
Yep.
My wife comes.
And in theory, Steven, if he actually gets the colors in, and we don't have to go to Stoney.
Didn't Luke do some work on it too?
Luke, yeah, Luke and Rob. Luke, Rob Anderson,
Luke,
Joe
Rob,
Rodriguez,
Martha.
Matt Knowles is up here in Ocala. I mean,
Knowles. So we'll invite everybody down to do a signing. So
we could always get everybody at the meet, even if it's not for a signing, but just like have you all meet at the collective because I know Ocala is a little north, and we can get a ton of copies signed. And
I think the plan is we're going to do it in my area, not because to prevent damages from drawing it far away, the board damages. Second, they have the bar. So we'll put a couple $100 on the bar, and everybody can drink and do some signing, and we'll have a good time.
That's we'll get James to do a drive-by so he can sign them as he goes by.
Is there a line?
But let's wrap this up. I want to pitch one more idea before we leave. I want to see that Chuck thinks is an okay idea. So I haven't sold Chuck yet, and if I can't sell Chuck, it's not sellable. So.
You're not wrong. See, I left. I was just like, oh, not this shit. He just left.
James is like, I'm open to coming to Florida. Well, Danny pays for plane tickets, so you're fine.
Yeah, if you think you can bring an extra, like, if you being at the store brings like 5 people that wouldn't come to the store, we'll fucking pay for your plane ticket. Like,
let's get Greg.
Whenever you want, Greg or Stoney, whenever you guys want a plane ticket, like, we'll make it happen, dude.
Do I smell like shit over here?
I offered to fly Adam Barnhart out like, in Iowa. He wasn't like quite ready to fly out from Iowa.
Hey,
but.
Everyone else except for Chuck. Do you want to come to my store? Motherfucker.
First of all, look at Greg, man. Bring Greg.
I'm looking at Greg.
You bring Greg to the store, and like the Abercrombie models come. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Now we are located next to a 2J's. So we do bring Chuck in, and some of those guys will probably walk by and be like, oh, that guy looks like my nephew. And then, they'll come in.
If it makes you feel better, Chuck can stay at my house if he comes.
I'm really trying to not have to leave my guest with other people. It worked out once, but I don't think John was super jazzed about it.
All right. Chuck, you good?
Yeah. Let's hear this idea that I don't like.
You may like it. I'm not saying you don't like it. I just say you're not sold on it. There's a difference. I mean, do you not like it?
Dude, I get given so many ideas. I can't remember it. I'll remember it as soon as you start talking.
So here's my idea for 2021. Here's my idea. Hear me out, Stoney and Greg and Danny and Emily. So what I'm thinking about doing is maybe putting together a card set where people can they get it back, and then your campaign, you get a card to give away during your campaign. So you have to back 52 campaigns to get your card, to get the full deck, but kind of putting that as a market. I don't think it'll sell for anybody, but it'll sell to the rich efforts to buy 52 campaigns. So I think it'll be an interesting thing. I think it'll be kind of fun. We'd give opportunities to rebuy those cards. I think it would be an interesting thing to really encourage other people's Kickstarters. I pitched it better when I pitched it to Chuck earlier, I'll tell you that.
So basically the idea is there would be 52 different Kickstarters. Each of them would get a different card. And then if you backed that Kickstarter, you got that card. If you back all 52 Kickstarters, you get all of these cards. And then at the end of the year, we run a Kickstarter, and you can buy the cards that you didn't get from the other Kickstarters at a higher price, or you can buy the whole pack.
Travis, why aren't you working for Marvel, dude?
That's a great question.
In 5 years, they won't be making incentive covers. There's just going to be these card packs. It's like you have to buy every issue of Spider-Man to have all 52 cards. Or else
I did.
So Chuck, so Greg, do you think there's value in that? Do you think that would encourage people to back another campaign?
I'm not sure, but I think it's a cool idea. It's I'm interested though, but what will be in the cards? Like what's the design?
It's like a deck of cards. We would design the back, and then the front would either be a cover or an image that they provide for us.
Yeah, I mean I think it will be like a really cool collective, just like people who are willing to do that, just to have fun.
And what I was thinking is, after it's done, after all 52 are out, we do a campaign for a deck, like a deck of the whole thing that with a different back. But you can get cards that you missed for whatever reason, and that money will go to those people to help them. So let's say you started collecting cards at the 7th Kickstarter, stuff. Trish says, okay, so I don't like this. I don't like that idea because, not to be mean, I don't like everyone's comic. I like what I like. Exactly. We get that totally, and that's why we'd have the opportunity to get those cards or to buy the complete set later.
Chuck, why are you not sold on this idea? What makes you not like this idea?
Dude, it's an unwieldy beast. That
52.
is a lot to fucking plan.
So
a lot of people, you have to have 52, and that's like, so what if some dude cancels theirs? What if they don't fund? Like, there's so many different things that you're gonna have to keep an eye on throughout the year. And I mean, we only have 12 months. That's a lot of fucking work. A lot of work. And what is the payoff, really? Like, I'm cool with doing a lot of work, but is the payoff going to be worth the amount of work? 52 different fucking campaigns to make that happen? I don't know, man. I just don't know.
All right, so if each campaign did 4 cards, taking Travis's ambition a little bit down, but still with the concept.
Never take my ambition down.
If each campaign did 4 cards, you would only need 13 campaigns, which I think is much more logistically doable.
True, but the negative of 4 cards that actually 1 card doesn't really increase the Kickstarter's price at all, where 4 cards would.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
I like comics, but not every comic, so choose our issues, maybe back as a $1 it's a real back. Sure.
The naughty cards are great, by the way.
4+ Kickstarters a month.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah,
and then that you do the math that way, and it's like, eee.
Yeah.
Would you try to do one a week?
Not necessarily. Well, there's 52 cards in a deck of cards.
Right.
So it wasn't one a week. It was just 52.
Okay.
Just a thought.
He just wanted to get to a full deck of cards, or we could just be like Batman 3 Jokers and just give people 3 cards and be like, yeah, I know you probably wanted a whole deck, but we don't have the money for that. Just take it. So we know there's nothing you can do with 3 cards, but take it.
So, well, I think that's it for the night.
We'll end on that one.
But thank you guys again. Like, seriously, it's more because it's late. It's almost 11. Thank you for showing on. Greg, did you find someone to swipe right yet? Are you still waiting? Greg smiles.
Questions, man. You're asking for too many questions.
I'm just glad my wife doesn't watch the stream. That's
fair enough.
Dude, I'm glad I'm already single, because if I wasn't, I would be at the end of this stream.
But my wife is watching the stream and me. She's right there. Honey, say hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
I thought in Wendy fashion she was gonna type it just to like.
Hey.
So again,
I'm getting private
night,
messages. Tell Greg to sit up. Private messages.
No, Greg's chilling. Greg is chilling. He's got to do like 100 sit-ups after this to keep that physique.
Oh wow.
I'll sit up just for you. I'll sit up just for you. All right.
There you go. There you go. Greg's like, I just want to go to bed. Come on.
the money's $40 Kickstarter. All right. we are done for the night. Tomorrow night, starting at 10 o'clock, we will be live for one more hangout. One more hangout. We'll hopefully get as many people as we need. It'll be from 10 to 11:30, wrapping us up. Again, trying to get everything going. We did not make enough for me to snort hot sauce. I apologize, but maybe tomorrow night we can make that happen.
You don't want to do it.
Travis.
Yes.
It hurts.
I know I have Kevin Joseph on tomorrow. Do you want to come on for a little bit after him to talk about Cthulhu to the collective, or are you? What do you? Just throwing it out there because it is your last day.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll see how we're doing.
Yep, I can get you a little bit of space there at the end, so just let me know.
That deck of cards better do some amazing shit. Just for you, Danny.
Ever played 52 card pickup?
And basically, at this point, do I just want to just make a deck of cards, call it funded?
Add an extra just make it an additional plan.
Just write it funded on the back and ask all my friends, hey, can I use your covers? Call it a day. And then everyone's going to fight over the king, and I'm going to get frustrated and never want to talk to anybody again.
Right.
I'll take the Joker all day. Yeah, I know most people just throw it out of the deck, so like, you know.
But if you do Jokers, you need even more fucking cards. It's 54 cards with Jokers.
All right. This is clearly not the best idea. This was clearly not the best. Hey, my cat's there.
I dig the idea, Travis. Do the cards.
Thanks, Tony.
Kiss his ass harder, dude. Kiss his ass.
All right. Everyone say goodnight. Greg, go ahead. Say goodnight. Tell them where they can find you on. Tell them what's going on next.
Good night. You can find me, Greg Anderson Elise, on Facebook, IG, GREGDAE, or webwaycomics.ecw.com to get all my comics.
Is that ECW? Did you acquire the wrestling organization?
ECWID.com.
Emily, go ahead.
You can find me at Emily Risett, RIESETT, on Instagram and YouTube. Good night, everybody. Don't forget to wash your face and brush your teeth. I love you.
Mike says, I really want to end with Emily. Can we restart?
Okay, I can play it again when we're done.
Danny?
Yeah, so like, I mean, don't follow me on social media. If anything, my plug is for the collective, Collective CCG. We have a collective initiative, which actually is how I've met Travis and Stoney and Chuck by name, really, in the back of all these books. A couple guys that have been in the comments are actually on the initiative, and a ton of guys in the book. But yeah, just happy to be here, and Travis is amazing. And please get us to 25,000 so I could get a glow-in-the-dark cover and a book plate. And brush your teeth, apparently, because Emily says so.
Yes.
She somehow knows I have a toothache.
Well, for the toothache, whiskey helps a lot. But what's up, guys? I'm Chuck Pino. You can find me on Facebook, PINEAU. You can find me on Instagram with the same name. You can find me on Twitter at ChuckyPin. You can find my Chuck's Raw Reviews on YouTube. You can find my publishing wing, Bonfire Press, on Facebook. And if you check out Kickstarter right now, and you're not already pledging to Cthulhu Invades Oz, why don't you check out Essence House, which is my audio drama, which we're now turning into a novel. Boom. Thank you.
Essence House,
Thank
right
you.
here.
That's right, man. Yep. You can find it. And it's a 20-chapter book, and we have already uploaded 18 of the chapters onto the podcast networks. So you can go and you can check out literally like 90% of the fucking book. And if you don't like it, you got it for free. You're welcome. So you can definitely browse before you buy.
Look at that good look. Mike's a good-looking guy himself.
And he's a voice actor. Yeah, he's allowed to be ugly, and he still doesn't do it.
What I love about it is like it's so affordable. So you can do for $10, you can get the ebook and the audiobook, which is really, really good. You know, I backed myself the $20 pledge, which was get the physical book, the bookmark, the novel, PDF, and the audiobooks. It's such a good value for a book. And I mean, this cover is dope. Like, I really love this stuff.
Yeah, she really did an excellent job. I've never had a novel before, so this is huge. I didn't realize that novels mattered. You know what I mean? Like, we're all writers, and that makes us authors, right? And then my partner Eric, he was like, "No, that's not true." I was like, "No, come on." And he's like, "No." He said, "Seriously, everyone is we tell ourselves that, but as soon as you start telling your family and stuff that you have a novel, they'll treat you differently." And I'm like, that's bullshit. So I called my mom up a little bit later, and I'm like, "Hey, Mom, I wanted you to know Essence House is becoming a novel." And right away, she's just like, "Oh, my son's gonna be an author." And I'm like, "Bitch, holy shit!" Instantly, holy fuck, are you serious? And I said that right to her. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" She's like, "What? You're gonna be an author? That's great." I'm like, "I am an author. This is just another medium." She's like, "Yeah, I don't know." I'm like, fucking Eric was right. So I'm gonna be an author, and that's really exciting because apparently I wasn't before.
And he's pissed off about it.
I'm pissed off that I'm gonna be an author. Yeah, I'm pissed off that I wasn't already. Damn it. So thank you.
Keep going.
I don't know what else you want me to do. I'm just gonna tap dance over here and look all good and shit. Like, what's up, man? I'm not Greg, man. I can't.
The way you said you're going to be an author sounded a lot like you were saying you were going to be a father. So I'd just like to tell you congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna swing the hardcover in my arms like this.
All right, I'm back. One more, Stoney. Tell us what's up.
Yeah, do I need to spell my name? Everybody else did. Stonie. I am the Bald Dirty Bard across social media. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, ArtStation. I've got a comic book out called Villainous on shelves right now, and Cthulhu Invades Oz, and that's what I'm pushing right now. So yeah, find me there.
Last, probably least, myself, Travis Kim. You can find me at Orange Co. I do Voodoo Nations, Broke Down. Those are great books, but really all I care about is getting Cthulhu Invades Oz some really, really cool glow-in-the-dark covers. Let me tell you why. My wife wanted hardcovers. She wanted this whole line to be hardcovers. And when I did the math, I was like, honey, I can't fund hardcovers. Like, I'm too scared. Like, you don't have the stuff. She wanted die cut. She wanted all sorts of crazy shenanigans. I would love to give my wife something special, something unique, which is the thing. So do it for my wife, who, if you've ever met my wife, is way cooler than me in every aspect. Travis and Chuck's baby doll, love. Who doesn't like what looks like more? Travis and Chuck's baby Cthulhu love.
Travis.
Who does the baby look like? Definitely Travis. This is much more Travis's baby than mine. I'm a sperm donor at best.
I really feel uncomfortable that we bring this up after I talk about how cool my wife is. I just want to point that out. This makes me feel uncomfortable.
I'm just some one-night stand dude, whatever. And then he's like, "Oh, we're going to keep it." And I'm like, "Oh, good. Do I have to give you money?" Shit.
But yes, so tomorrow night at 10 p.m., we are going to finish this baby up. Pledge, share. We need your support to get there. Really would like to give my wife that wonderful cover, and really want to give everybody that wonderful cover, because that literally, I'm going to change the retail on that cover to $40. So I'm going to increase it to $40 for anybody who wants to sell it later, or any of our creators who get that cover. Like, that's now going to be a $40 book. So that's a big deal. This book is getting totally rad now. Yes, it is. Yeah. Please consider pledging. But we love you. See you tomorrow night at 10 p.m. See you guys later. Bow.
Good night.